mainly because I'm a big kid and I'm not patient at all. We got the wife's Yukon, which I'm waiting for a crank sensor for, so it doesn't really matter if it sits here. Got the line doubled up to a recovery ring over to the Bronco with scotch blocks in. So it's going to be a test. The Yukon weighs way more than the Bronco. The Bronco's giant, but it's very light, so it's good and bad at the same time, double-edged sword. Yukon's all-wheel drive, in park and brake on. Bronco is in four-wheel drive, in park, and I'm waiting on my line lock. So my line lock's gonna be set up on the front brake, so you push the brake down, flip the switch, it locks the pressure in there. I'm gonna call that my winch brake. It's not here yet, it's showing up today. So we're just gonna do a little test, to kind of test out these blocks to see if they're gonna work the way I think they're gonna work. So mainly, because the Bronco is light, I wanted to increase my resistance, and no better way than old-fashioned scotch blocks. So if I'm doing something really heavy and it's stuck, first thing I'm going to do is hook up like this back to the bumper, okay? And then I'm going to put some pressure on it, and hopefully that pressure will sink the scotch blocks in the ground. Once I get them sunk in the ground a little bit, I want to unhook from the bumper and hook onto my straps on the scotch blocks, and that's going to put a lot less weight being pulled on my truck, and it's going to split it between the truck and the ground. I think it'll work, but I'd like to test it out before I go out and do jobs with it. One fear is that it's going to pull it out from underneath the tire, but I think with the winch brake, with the tire locked on there and it's sucking the ground, I think it's going to take a lot of pull power to pull them out of the ground. So that's kind of what we're going to test today. Flip the winch into engage, turn my wireless remote on, see what happens. They're definitely sinking in the ground like they're supposed to. Perfect. Now when I bought these straps and measured everything out, I wanted the scotch block under a load with the suspension squatted halfway back on the tire. You see, it's not quite halfway, 25%. That's close enough to me. I wanted a lot of weight as much as possible on there. But now those are squashed down on the ground. Let me loosen up my winch and hook it on the blocks and see if I can yank them out of the ground or not. So we got it swapped over. So now you got pulling out the scotch block, kind of like a low line on a record. And then back over to the truck and pull on it and see if they come out, or the all-wheel drive Yukon with super sticky tires is going to slide across the concrete. So far they're digging in good. And the Yukon's moving. Dragging the Yukon, so that's a pretty good test, I think. I mean, that thing weighs more than me by at least 2,000 pounds. Perfect. And my blocks didn't move at all. They actually went deeper in the ground. And now they're pretty much flush with the ground. Now I was going to buy some of these, but they're 18 weeks back order and they were $700. So I went up to Alro Steel. I bought a piece of 6" by 6" by a 1/4" angle iron. And it was in their scrap bin. It was like 37 inches long, so I had them cut it straight in half. Now I bought a 1/4" plate, 6 inches. Had that cut to match both sides. Bought some gussets, welded it all together. Bought the D-rings. Out the door, I think I made them $94. And it took me like 35 minutes to weld everything together. They seem to be working pretty good. I mean, most stuff I'm going to be pulling out is going to at least be in neutral and not on concrete. But the Bronco didn't move at all. Scotch blocks did their job. I think it's going to work.